Hey there, greetings, George again, and welcome to day 5 of week 3. So today is a really important day. We're going to be transitioning into the final week coming up. And today I entitled this ending of the week, See, That Was Totally Unknown. So as we've been going and progressing through this, you see that it's building on one another, and I keep emphasizing this seeing that is going to expose this division that's been happening in thought between the controller of the thought, the thinkers of the thinker of the thought, and that's thought imposing its will on thought, right? So this is a really critical, important thing. Nobody can make that happen for you. You can't make it happen. This is just hopefully something that will emerge through what we're doing by bringing it to attention, by watching all these videos day in and day out and having the conversations we're having. So remember, this is there's nothing to do with this. Don't get anxious about this type of seeing that I'm talking about because it's already operating there. But today I entitled this is See, That Was Totally Unknown, is because in this division of thought and seeing that happen, not only is thought informed of the division and the separation, but seeing is too. That openness is too. It's also exposed at the very same instant that the division in thought is. And that is something that had been totally unknown, that there is this underlying awareness and observation, openness, seeing. There's a lot of names or titles that we could place on this, but that has always been there. It's always been operating, and now it's also being exposed that it's operating. And when that happens, life is totally changed. See, what's happening there is that thought at that point can really no longer strengthen and believe in the separate self that is created, which the separate self has been based on all those thoughts, emotions, and feelings that have kind of created that entity and that individual separate identity. And seeing is now informing, it's part of the process of seeing how that separate self is operating. And because seeing is now fully engaged in that process consciously, then it's now involved in exposing that the separate self has got division. And through exposing that the separate self is moving in a divisive manner, it's changing how thought is moving. The thought process and the emotions that are moving through are now moving more freely. No one has to, as I've stated before, do anything to make that happen. That's really only get in the way of that. In this whole 3 weeks that we've been part of, although I've been prompting and describing this transition that it can occur as something that maybe you can do, and there's some exercises which I hope you're still going through from the first week. We haven't visited that much, but that those are just little tools to keep working with to see if this insight is going to arise. And there's nobody in control of that process. So seeing was always there, and now there's thought is informed of that, and that awareness has become evident. And as now we transition into the next week, and we go through the weekend and have the conversation to see how this is really establishing and anchoring to your life, we're going to transition from trying to bring attention to that process that I've been describing. So we're going to shift our focus a little bit away from driving at this division in thought and seeing it and see that seeing is also revealed at the same time. Since we're in a bit of a progression within the 4 weeks here, even if that isn't fully emerged at this point, there will be a slight transition. And I wish you a great rest of the day and look forward to the weekend and the coming week with you. So talk to you tomorrow or on Monday. See ya.